Morning, you guys. Happy Thursday. I'm gonna talk to you guys while I make my breakfast and while I make my coffee because every day I'm rushing because I can never wake up on time. So I will talk to you while I get my life together and my breakfast because I want to try to leave in 10 minutes. Let's see if it happens. This morning we're going to be discussing author's purpose. I was going to make a graphic organizer and, you know, take notes, but I'm actually trying to have more active learning in my classroom. So what I mean by that is instead of taking notes, we're just going to pull examples and discuss instead. I think that sounds a lot more fun. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, let's have a discussion. I'll put some discussion starters on the board. We went over author's purpose as in regards to PI, persuade, inform, and entertain. And my kids seemed to understand that concept, which I'm very happy about. So now I want them to discuss and explain their reasoning using evidence from the text, but in words. When I get into class this morning, I'm going to write the discussion starters on the board, and they're going to use those sentence frames when describing their point of view. Now I'm gonna take it up a little bit of a notch, and I want them to explain what the opposite opinion would be. I hope that makes sense. So what I mean by that is I want them to speak what the opposite opinion would be of the author's point of view or the author's message. We kind of went over that yesterday and they did not understand. I bought a product on TPT. I'm just gonna link it below. I really liked it for author's purpose, and we only did one worksheet. Should students have homework? And one of the questions was, what statement would the author disagree with? So my students just did not know what that meant and they didn't understand that. So I want to practice with discussion with that. I think it'll make more sense if I describe it again. Drink one, done. Drink two. Look what my best friend made me with her Cricut. It says Miss Thompson. That's not going to be my new last name though, but that is my last name for now until June. This is all the coffee I have. So I need to make a pre-assessment for my students. You know, it just escaped my mind yesterday. So I'm like, okay, so I need to go, I need to hurry up, and I need to create it on the computer and make copies of it. But I'm like, do I really have to do that? No. I'm gonna make the kids work more than me. That's kind of how I've taken this year. I want my kids, you know, to work equal or as more as me, you know? More like active learning, taking ownership. I'm in 5th grade, by the way. I always forget to say that. Hi, 5th grade, Southern California. Instead of making the copies and feeling rushed to do it on my recess and, you know, I'm gonna write the problems on the board. They're gonna fold their paper. I'm gonna do 6 problems just because that makes sense to me. And each of the one of the 6 boxes, they're gonna work out one problem on the board. Now it's gonna be, we're gonna be working with 2-digit divisors. Honestly, we just tested on single-digit divisors to like 4-digit numbers, 4-digit dividends. And I would say they did pretty good. I taught them 3 different methods or strategies for division. Oh, so delicious. I hate when the ice clumps and you can't. There we go. I'm ready to roll. Just need to get my jacket, my keys. Here's my lunch, tacos from Costco. Okay, the lighting's not the best, but I'm wearing red for Ed. My friend Kind Kindergarten is striking right now, and I think it's been over a week because I wore the same shirt a week ago. No shame, but I'm wearing this to show my support. I can't even imagine, but good for you guys. That just like lights a fire in me. I love that you guys are fighting for your students. It's amazing. I'm wearing these maroon pants. I seriously don't think this outfit matches, but I wanted to wear these pants. They're my favorite pants. They're really comfy. And then I'm wearing these boots that I got from Marshall's over a year ago. And I'm gonna be wearing my favorite jean jacket. Oh, I love my jean jacket. Okay, you guys, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see you once I get to school. My mornings are always just a hot mess express. But I'll probably catch you guys after school if anything, or at lunch if anything, just to show you my author's purpose and my division and just what we did today. All right, these pack chips, 54 bags for 10 bucks at Costco, and that's for my prize box, and I have no shame buying this. Sorry if you saw this. Terrible. Those of you who don't know, my brother and I bought a house. We bought this house from renters, so it's a little damaged on the kitchen. But anyways, okay, I'm gonna get going, have my coffee. Okay, and we are good to go. Hello guys, it is Friday and I'm wearing my shirt backwards this time so I don't have to blur it out. So that's good. So I am about to leave, but I did want to talk about how my lesson did with the discussion, and how my kids did with the author's purpose through discussion that I did yesterday. And I will tell you, they did fabulous. So let me show you the sentence stem I told them to use and the resource I used that I found on TPT for free. I will link it below. If I forgot, please remind me and I'll do it. So this is the sentence stem I told them to use. The author's purpose of writing this is to blank the reader. For example, the text says blankety blankety blank. We went over this days prior, and I always say it's as easy as pie. And I just said blueberry pie, persuade, blackberry pie, inform, and then cherry pie, entertain. And it's the reasoning for all of that. You know, you catch my drift. And these are the questions that they ask themselves while they are figuring out author's purpose. So that is on my ELA wall. The resource I used to take notes is this one right here. I will link it down below. I purchased this one. It has notes on it and activity to go with on this. And I liked it. Now this was free. This was free, and this is probably the best thing I've ever found. It's good because there's small text and the students were able to read with their partner and explain why the author's purpose was the way it was using text examples. And this is what I showed on my document camera, and that's what they said to their partner. That's what they discussed. And there's so many of them. It's amazing. Then we also played a Kahoot, and they had a lot of fun with the Kahoot. They did really well. And then I just did an exit ticket with the same resource as before, the one I just showed you that was free. And I wanted them to explain their reasoning for why they say persuade. And it was a good discussion because one of my students was like, well, it could be inform and persuade, and they're absolutely correct. And as long as you can justify why the author is informing us, then you are correct, as long as you can justify. So that is what we did yesterday. I'm sorry for my makeup. I feel like it looks really bad. I did not do too hot today on my makeup. Not my best work. I'm sorry. Let me show you my idea for math. Now, we are starting chapter 4 in Wonders. So 5th grade teachers, if you are starting chapter 4 in Wonders, I am too. And it is 2-digit divisors. And I can already tell, not that I can already tell, it is very different from a single-digit divisor. And we just took not a long time. I honestly feel like the pace that we're going at is really nice for my class. I feel like they're understanding it pretty well. Now let me tell you about my lesson yesterday that I didn't get a chance to tell you because I am really busy. So yesterday I went through the lesson, and when I give my direct instruction, you need to have your body turned towards me. I call it movie time and slant. Slant is an AVID term. I'm not at an AVID school. I have been AVID trained though, but slant, I don't utilize it the exact way, but I just say slant is this, shoulders pointed toward me, active listening, you're listening to my lesson, and all eyes are on me. I tell them, if I look at you, I need to see your eyes matching mine. And it works. they did really, really well with the lesson, and I said it is going to require work. Let me just kind of describe what we're doing. Let me get a whiteboard. What we're working on are 2-digit divisors. So as you know, that's a great marker. I have taught my students 2 different methods and strategies to solve division. I actually taught them partial quotients, but I feel like my students didn't really grasp that too well, so I don't really teach that way anymore because none of my students utilize that strategy. So the 2 strategies I've taught them is the standard division way, which is the way probably you and I know how to divide, and then the long division, and then I taught them the box way is what I call it. I'm sure there's a name for it, but a student taught me it from their 4th grade teacher. I love it. I will do a video on the 2 different division strategies that I taught as well as the multiplication strategies that I taught. So what I told them is that when they solve a division problem with a 2-digit divisor, they need to do a brain dump. Let me change this 12 to a 13, just you know, maybe a 16. And I told them, I have not memorized my 16 timetables. No. So I need to do a brain dump. So while I was teaching this lesson, I'm like, oh, a really good idea is for them to have a brain dump paper for them to utilize, you know? So what I did, I have a whole stack, is I got an Astro Bright paper. I made this, it took me 5 seconds, and I put it in a thick protection sleeve, and I named it Brain Dump. And this is where they list out their multiplication list. So I tell them they love to do work on the whiteboard. I don't have a problem with it for instruction. On tests, I do want them to write their work on a scratch paper and staple it. But for independent work and classwork, I don't care if they use this, and especially during my lesson. So I don't want to tell you how I taught it, but I do want to strive the point that I'm trying to make. And the point I'm trying to make is this, I think, is going to be a life changer. So I explained to them, you need to think about how many times 16 can go into 8 and 87, because that's the first 2 digits it can go into. And I want them to dump out their brain here. Once they figure out 16 times 4, I want them to write 16 times 4 equals whatever. 16 times 5 equals whatever. So they have it referenced here, because I was finding a lot of students were just erasing their answers. But I think this is gonna help a lot. So while I was teaching it, I was doing the division on the board, and then they were doing the brain dumping. I hope that makes sense. Oh my gosh, I feel like this video is not making sense at all. I guess if you were here, you would know, but I did the division. I would say, okay, I need to figure out how many times 16 can go into 87. It's your guys' job to tell me that. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to solve 16 times 4. I wanna see your work on your brain dump. I want to see the answer in here. 16 times 4 equals that. The division is getting worked out on their whiteboard, just so they have 2 places for their work. And that's what I really wanted to show you guys. So an upcoming video I want to make is how I do my partners. I do a peanut butter and jelly partner, and I want to describe like a game that I do with them, and it's really a good way to let them practice math reasoning. Another thing I want to do is my new management system I'm doing in my class. It is working really, really well. And it's all because of my BFF, John. And thank you, John, if you're watching this. It's such a good idea, so I have to share it. So creds, John. I want to do a video on my multiplication strategies and division strategies that I taught to my 5th graders, and they've really adapted really well. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos. I hope they're helpful. I hope you get good information out of my videos, and I hope I'm actually serving a purpose for you. If you have any questions, please leave comments down. Let me know if there's anything you want me to make a video on. I will totally do it. Just let me know. And I will catch you guys in my next video. We are entering week 13, quarter 2, and we're getting into November. Part of me is like, wow, that went by really fast. But then another part of me is like, I need November to happen for no school November. Okay, anyways, you guys have a really great day, and I will catch you guys in my next video.